Hi everyone, my name is Senthil. I'm a bioinformatician at Diversigen. Today I wanted to discuss about efficient removal of rRNA for metatranscriptomics in gut microbiome studies. This is some of the tools and methods that will discuss complement what Bryce had mentioned for depleting rRNA from the sample preparation for functionally annotating mRNA transcripts. So in order to filter host and rRNA reads, it's important that we capture a wide variety of non-coding RNA while retaining the coding sequences or the mRNA coding sequence genes. And we should also be aware that the computational time and memory requirements stay within a certain limit. We don't, because to reduce, for example, the AWS cloud computing costs. In order to do this, we first analyze publicly available data for RNA-seq. To simplify this initial step, we already mapped these reads to HG38 human genome reference and removed post-matching reads. We are only focused in this experiment to remove the ribosomal RNA. We tested 4 different rRNA databases and 5 different mapping programs. And 3 of these programs are part of the bbTools package. And we compared these against 2 well-known mapping programs that included Bowtie and SortMe-RNA. So our initial results, when we compared the results from 5 different tools against 4 different databases, they look very similar. As we can see, the first 7 samples have a high degree of rRNA contamination, and the last 4 samples, they have less than 20% of rRNA contamination. So we have divided these reads into rRNA fraction and non-rRNA fraction. But are we sure if are the reads classified as rRNA or non-rRNA really that? So in order to validate these reads, I use 2 different programs called CMScan and UPROC that identify rRNA and protein coding genes respectively. So the idea is that we take these 2 fractions and process them through CMScan and UPROC. The hypothesis is that we only expect to find non-coding RNA in the RNA fraction or RNA fraction, and the protein coding genes in the non-rRNA fraction. The results suggest that there is a high degree of variability in valid mRNA and non-coding rRNA assignments, non-coding RNA assignments. We see that most of the time, the non-coding RNAs, they get classified correctly and as shown in the light orange bars, and the light blue bars indicate the protein coding genes correctly classified as mRNA. However, in the case of Bowtie, we see some non-RNA is binned in the mRNA fraction or misclassified as mRNA. And in the case of SortMe-RNA, we see the reverse problem where some of the protein coding genes get classified as rRNA genes. So of the 5 tools tested, we found that bbTUG performs the best. To additionally ensure that the results that we see are correct, I used a simulated reads for which we know the ground truth. So I generated this simulated reads from these 3 different databases that's shown on the right. These reads are either rRNA or human or bacteria, and I combine them in these 3 different read sets in various proportions to generate FASTQ files, a combination of different FASTQ files that have different proportion of these 3 different reads. Then I map them using the tools that I mentioned before, bbTUG, SEAL, and bbSplit. In the case of bbTools, I used simultaneous database searches because they can handle multiple references. And in the case of Bowtie, I used a sequential or independent removal of these reads. As we see in this result, for all the methods correctly classify rRNA fraction in the sample. For example, if there are 0% of rRNA, as for example, in the first 5 rows of this table, they all get classified as no rRNA. So none of them match to the rRNA database, and all 4 methods equally well work equally well. And in the case of coding sequences, the BBDUX split and seal work better. And in the case of Bowtie, we see a slight variation when there are no prokaryotic gene coding reads in the sample. It still classifies them as such as they match to the database. The same problem is made worse in the case of human reads. When there is no human reads in the sample, the Bowtie 2 still classifies them as human. So so as we see in the case of Bowtie, we have this issue where the bacterial coding sequences might get filtered out during the host filtration step because they get misclassified as human reads. So to summarize, as I've shown, we have now high confidence in removing host and rRNA reads from RNA-seq data, while also retaining most of the mRNA coding genes. We have also lowered computational resources